Hi, welcome back to the second hour of this Monday edition of Focal Point on AFR Talk. Brian Fisher is my name. Start off with a quick global warming update in this segment. You may have heard some people saying that 2013 was the fourth hottest year on record for the United States. Do not let them lie to you. According to the NOAA database, that's the National Oceanic and Atmospheric Association, again, not part of conservative media, conservative right-wing talk radio. This is a government agency. They got the satellites and they monitor temperatures all over the world. 2013 was the 37th hottest year on record for the United States. So 2013 was not the fourth hottest year on record. It was the 37th hottest year. Nothing to see here. Move along. In fact, according to data from the Earth monitoring stations, 2014 is on pace to be the coldest year on record. That is the coldest record in recorded history. The coldest year since we started keeping track of this stuff back in 1886 or 1887. On track to be the coldest year on record. There's your catastrophic global warming alert. Now, President Obama's out there doing his part. Maybe you saw this. They put solar panels up on the White House. And listen to this. This is from climatedepot.com, Mark Morano. A solar panel array now adorns the roof of the White House and will produce an elephantine amount, that means a lot, of solar power when the sun is actually shining, about 44 kilowatt hours of electricity a day. And you think, wow, that's impressive. These solar panels that President Obama is going to put on the top of the White House are going to generate 44 kilowatt hours of electricity a day. That is on the days when the sun is shining. On days when the sun isn't shining, it's going to produce bupkis in the amount of kilowatts of electricity. So 44 kilowatts, I mean, that sounds like a lot. You know what that is? That's enough energy, listen to this, that's enough energy to power 22 100-watt light bulbs for 20 hours a day. So these solar panels will power 22 light bulbs in the White House. You ever seen that place at night? Lit up like the proverbial Christmas tree. So nothing to get excited about here whatsoever. The solar panels, enough power to provide juice for 22 light bulbs. Now, here's a college in New Mexico, Santa Fe Community College. They've just unveiled a solar array, speaking of solar power. Remember you saw that big giant solar farm in Nevada that is frying birds. I mean, if birds fly through there, they get fried to a crisp. They have these flaming birds falling from the sky. It incinerates insects. They got insects, dead insects all over the place. The glare is distracting to pilots that fly over it. Now here is Santa Fe Community College. They've put in a solar array, and they're all pumped about this because they say, look, this thing is going to save us $200,000 a year on our utility bills. Okay, fine. You know how much it costs to put this solar array in? It costs $5 million. So they spent $5 million to put this solar array in there that'll save them $200,000 a year. That means it will take at least 25 years just to get to the break-even mark. That's just to break even with what they have already spent on this boondoggle of a project. And then here is another piece of the puzzle with global warming is the Antarctic sea ice. It's now approaching the largest Antarctic sea ice spread in history. Largest on record. The excess ice size, the amount of ice that's beyond what they normally have in the Antarctic this time of year, is the size of Alaska. That's how much extra ice they have in the Antarctic. Global warming, not so much. Now, one last thing before I go to this gluten-free deal. The next alternative fuel, you know that when you eat your digestive system processes food, and one of the products of the working of the digestive system is gas. And we have terms for that, for the passing of wind and so forth. Now, here's the latest deal. They are trying to capture emissions from cows. You can use your own euphemism for that. So they're trying to capture emissions from cows. They got a picture of this cow with this big giant kind of leather or rubber bladder on his back. And he's got the thing that's inserted into the rumens, they call it. You know what we're talking about here. I'm not going to be the one to do this, trust me. But they are going to try to capture the methane that's released by these cows into these plastic backpacks. And they think they can run a refrigerator for 24 hours on the amount of methane they can extract from one cow. So that is the latest. Now, let's grab this clip number 1, Rob, from Jimmy Kimmel. There are a lot of people on gluten-free diets. Now, I don't want to diss anybody that's on a gluten-free diet. You may have discovered that gluten's a problem for you. You eat normal diet, you go gluten-free, and you feel a whole lot better. I don't want to be critical of anybody that's on a gluten-free diet. But there's only 1 in 141 people for whom gluten is a problem, according to the best research that's been done. But a lot of people are on gluten-free diets because it's the trendy latest thing going. And you would think that people who are on a gluten-free diet would have some idea what gluten actually is. So Jimmy Kimmel sent his guys out there to ask people on the street about gluten and their gluten-free diets.
We sent a camera crew out to a popular exercise spot right up the street from us to ask people who are gluten-free a simple question. What is gluten? What is this thing you will not eat? So we're going to meet a person who doesn't eat gluten, and together we're going to guess if they know what gluten is. Are you ready? Yeah! What else do you have to do?
Do you maintain a gluten-free diet?
I do indeed.
And what is gluten?
Okay, does he know what gluten is? No! Oh, everyone says no.
Well, as far as for me, how it affects my body,
But what is gluten?
This is pretty sad because I don't know.
We're 0 for 1. But I hate it, and I know. Next.
Do you maintain a gluten-free diet?
I do.
What is gluten?
All right, does this shirtless gentleman know it? Yes, okay.
Gluten's in bread. It's a flour derivative, wheat, things like that.
It's a flour derivative?
Right? It's like bread, things like that, pastries.
It's in those things?
Yeah, it's in those things.
But what is it exactly?
Gluten is it's like a grain, right?
No idea. Now, here's what gluten is. This is according to HuffingtonPost.com. Gluten is composed of the gliadin and glutenin proteins and is responsible for the elasticity of dough. And apparently 1 in every 141 people are victims of gluten intolerance. So again, gluten is composed of the gliadin and glutenin proteins, which means I now know what gluten is, and I still have no idea what it is. Gliadin, glutenin, no idea, no concept.